one of the most common things we hear and have heard over the past several years from members in the comments is, why are you picking on this group? Why are you just making videos about this group? And so what I always say, and what I think members, if you're a WMSCOG member, what you need to remember is that we didn't start it. You guys did. The WMSCOG did. Like, your doctrines are based upon this foundation that condemns every other church, every other pastor, every other religious group as being basically Satan. You know, if you go preach, if you're going out and preaching, one of the first things you're telling people, one of the first things you're trying to convince people of is that, hey, every other church except ours is evil and is satanic and is really not worshiping God. And so you are belittling and attacking every other group. And then when people like us come on and say, hey, we think there's some problems with the WMSCOG, you're like, oh, what? How can you talk bad about us? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, how can you possibly, speak negatively? Like, just go mind your own business, sort of deal. And so what I'm starting to say is, hey, like, I'll stop making videos when you guys stop preaching that every other church is of Satan. When you guys stop preaching that you are the only true church and every other church is evil and has it wrong, when you stop doing that, I'll stop the channel. I'll shut it down. So there you go. There's a deal.
And check this out. It's kind of funny because all the people that are attacking, Jordan, telling you, like, hey, why are you picking on the church? Why are you saying this and that? I can testify. We brought it to them, right? We approached you guys, right? It was me being part of the World Mission Society Church of God who went and the members that I was with, started preaching to your brother-in-law, right? And then from there, we set up a time and we went there willingly, ready to, tell you that you weren't going to be saved, that you were going to go to hell, that you were in Babylon, right? We did all that. So members can't blame you for doing this when
responding.
Literally, exactly, you're responding to what we brought to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, exactly.
And it's kind of funny because it's like, could you imagine imagine the logic? That's why sometimes I think, like, do they really, as much as they say they study in the Bible there, what are they really doing? Because how can you miss, like, look at the logic. Don't talk anything about, especially ex-members. How can you talk about the church? How can you, I've heard comparisons of, it's like an ex. There's no good breakups. There's how can you do that? That's because he's sour. That's because of that. So then maybe Apostle Paul was sour. Maybe Apostle Paul had a bad breakup when he was going into the Jewish synagogues that he was a part of and going back to those very people and preaching to them. You want to
just had a chip on his shoulder.
Exactly.